Folks, it is now time for the final simulation here on FM21, and it is now time for the 2026 FIFA World Cup simulation. Can the French repeat their previous successes at the last two World Cups, or will we crown the new world champion in this simulation? Now, this is the first tournament the first World Cup tournament where FIFA have expanded the World Cup to 48 nations, which we'll of course see in real life when the World Cup heads to North America in the United States, Mexico and Canada. That's going to be a logistical nightmare for all the nations involved, but until then, on FM, let us find out how the tournament will go down. Now, of course, because of how big this tournament is, we will be starting with the group stages after they've been played, so we'll go through each of the groups and who's actually gone through and who's gone out, before we get into the expanded knockout stages, which is now the second and the third round, the quarterfinal, the semi-final and the final. They couldn't make this much easier, could they? In Group A, the USA and Austria go through to the knockout rounds, with Guinea bowing out of the World Cup on 0 points. Scotland and Canada go through together, making sure that Australia don't advance in a surprise move. Sweden and Brazil are through as expected to the knockout rounds. Syria bow out with 0 points to their name. Spain and Japan also qualify from their group. Spain dominate Japan and Tunisia, scrapping it out for second spot. Tunisia losing out. Ireland and Colombia make sure that Gabon are bowing out the World Cup early. Ireland, it has to be said, making a successful return to the World Cup. France and Cameroon, as expected, through to the knockout rounds also. Uzbekistan are out with a -10 goal difference. Portugal and the Democratic Republic of Congo are through. Saudi Arabia bowing out early after a disappointing performance. Norway and the Ivory Coast are also through to the knockout rounds. Paraguay are heading home as expected. Denmark and Argentina make it through. Denmark surprisingly topping the group ahead of Argentina. China are on the way home. England and Ecuador, again as expected, going through. Iran are bowing out. They are on the way home. Greece and Venezuela. Venezuela, I think, making their first appearance at the World Cup finals. They displaced Mexico, who are on their way home. Venezuela into the knockout rounds. Suriname, as expected, going home. They couldn't get past Poland or Senegal. South Korea and Italy keep up their strong performances in the World Cup group stages. The Gambia are on their way home after their first finals appearance. Nigeria top the group ahead of Holland and New Zealand. New Zealand are the ones heading home. Holland disappointed to lose against Nigeria. Germany and Jamaica. Jamaica making their first appearance at the finals alongside Madagascar, who unfortunately finished pointless. And in the final group at the World Cup, Uruguay and Russia are through, therefore sending Honduras out of the tournament. So with the group stages now out of the way, we move on to the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup. Now, as you can see, 16 games are in this round, 32 nations left, and we will be viewing one game, the highlights of that game, from each round on the way to the final, which we will view in full. The game that has been picked is the one that I feel will probably be the most intriguing of the round, and I looked no further than Argentina versus England, an old rivalry that is being renewed in the second round of the FIFA World Cup. Just to give a quick overview as well for the Golden Boot, because who doesn't care about the Golden Boot at the World Cup? Harry Kane is leading, or he's leading jointly with Krzysztof Piatek of Poland, 5 goals apiece, with Troy Parrott of Ireland, of all people, right behind, and Rafael Leao on 4 goals apiece. It's going to be very interesting to see who actually walks out with the Golden Boot, depending on who obviously stays in the tournament. If Poland go far, you imagine Piatek is going to be bagging a lot of those goals. The same if England go far, Harry Kane will bag a lot of goals. But the first game that we're going to be coming up with, or rather that we will be attending, Argentina versus England in the second round of the FIFA World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the opening match for us to view here at the knockout rounds of the FIFA World Cup. It's looking like an absolutely glorious day for some football. I'd like to know if we're actually in America or Canada or Mexico for this one, but I suppose we're going to have to wait until after this game to actually find out. As soon as the game kicks off, I will go through what the starting lineups are. In fact, we get a highlight straight from the off here as Mason Mount has a free kick swings it into the area, and that is just off the post. Who was that? Was that Harry Kane? It was Jordan Henderson who smacked that against the post. Very bright start. After less than 1 minute, it seems, on the clock. The corner swung in, but it is cleared away as far as Reece James, who has the ball in the midfield. Tomori, back to James. England trying to force an opening, but it is cleared by Argentina. And Paulo Dybala is loose here. Oh, sorry, he's free here. Taking the ball forward, and it's just wide. I thought it was safe, but it's just wide. So your starting 11s for this match. For Argentina first, Musa in goal, Tagliafico, Romero, Perez and Montiel at the back, McAllister, Palacios, Seki, Carrera in the midfield, Dybala and Martinez as the two strikers. For England, a 4-2-3-1 formation, Ramsdale in goal, Lamptey, Rice, Tomori and James at the back, Foden and Henderson in midfield, Rashford, Mount, Sancho in the attacking midfield areas with Harry Kane as the sole striker. And so far it has been a dead first half here. Apart from those opening 2 minutes of this match, Argentina 0, England 0 at half time. Surely things can only improve as the second half goes on. It's 75 minutes gone here and there has still been no highlights in this second half. Of course, if it finishes 0-0 we will go to extra time. England trying to force a way through by changing up the system, but it's not quite to be so far as Rashford picks up the ball on the counter-attack here from an Argentina free kick. He's into the penalty area. If he can just square this, and he has. Harry Kane has just put the ball home. 86 minutes on the clock, and that could be the winner. It's Argentina 0, England 1. And are we looking at another English run deep into a tournament that could result in another final? Beautiful ball across from Rashford, and it almost looked like it took a touch from the Argentina defender into Kane. Regardless, the English are definitely not going to be arguing about that one. And England now just have a few minutes to hang on. Unless, of course, they find a second one here. But Argentina win the ball back. And they are going to try and launch a counter-attack very slowly by the looks of it. Just playing the ball out of defence. Correa has the ball, taking it forwards towards the penalty area. There is Lautaro. Montiel swings it into the box and it's just off the bar. Argentina so close to an equaliser. Literally minutes to hang on now for England. As they have the ball again off a free kick. And again, Argentina win it back. It just feels very, very sloppy at the moment from the English. And could there be time for one more Argentine attack? Again, not exactly hurrying the ball up the field. If anything, the English are a bit more direct and Bellingham just runs into one of his own teammates. I think this might actually be it, unless Argentina literally have one more chance. Ball is cut out again. Rashford takes it forward. Can you get the shot on? There is Sancho, and Sancho, regardless of getting his name wrong, has made it 2-0 to England, and that surely wraps it up now. 2-0 to the English. They're into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. And yes, it looks like another late run, another deep run into this tournament is on the cards. Poor goalkeeping from Musso there. You would argue he should have done better, but Sancho's not going to care. The English are not going to care. Argentina didn't deserve to go through just based off the fact they weren't even getting the ball forward urgently. 2-0. It finishes to England against Argentina. So to round out the second round of the World Cup, here are the final results. Spain did beat Brazil 2-1 in a, I wouldn't say the most shocking of results, but certainly a big upset as far as the Brazilians are concerned. The USA smacked Canada 3-0. Scotland are into the third round on penalties against Austria. Japan beat Sweden in what, well at least prevents a near European clean sweep, I'm going to guess, in this tournament so far. Ireland smacked Cameroon 4-0 in a big result. Troy Parrott again on the score sheet. France beat Colombia 3-2 after extra time, a closely fought matchup, which will probably scare the French just a little bit. The reigning double world champions, or rather the reigning back-to-back world champions. Portugal beat the Ivory Coast 2-1. Norway smacked the Democratic Republic of Congo 6-0. Erling Haaland with a hat-trick in that game. Greece won 1-0 against Senegal. Denmark beat Ecuador 4-2. England, as we saw, beat Argentina 2-0. Poland beat Venezuela 2-1. And Uruguay just about beat Jamaica 3-3 and then went to penalties. Uruguay triumphing just about in that one. Holland with a closely fought 3-2 win against South Korea. Italy beat Nigeria 1-0 and Germany had to see off Russia on penalties. So we move on now into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup, and these are the matches that will go down. The USA will play Spain, Scotland get a tasty little matchup against Japan. France play Portugal in a big game, which we will be attending for the highlights of this round. Ireland versus Norway. England have Greece. Denmark will play Poland. And in the final 2 matches, Italy will play Germany and Holland will take on Uruguay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3rd round of the FIFA World Cup. Here again, not knowing if this is Mexico, the USA or Canada. France versus Portugal will be the highlights for this round in what is a very tasty looking matchup between the back-to-back world champions France and the Euro 2016 champions in Portugal. No Cristiano Ronaldo, I believe, at this time, although we'll be able to confirm that when we see the team sheets. And these are going to be the team sheets for you, starting off with France. Lafont in goal, Mendy, Laporta, Todibo and Pavard in defence. Laporta, who's declared for Spain in reality. That's going to be a very interesting one. Guerreri, Luza, Tonisso and Lemar in midfield, with Mbappe and Griezmann as the 2 players up front. Unusually a 4-4-2 for the French. For the Portuguese, a 4-2-3-1 with Bessa in goal, Pedreira, Leite, Queiroz and Dalot in defence. Apologies again if any names are pronounced incorrectly. Louis Cachada in midfield, with Leao, Fernandes and Guedes in attacking midfield. João Felix is the man up front. Lemar takes the ball into the penalty box. If he can just find someone in the middle, and I think he's actually won a penalty. Might have been a bit of shirt pulling in there by the Portuguese midfielder Cachada. Don't know why he was all the way back there when his central defending teammates should really have been taking care of business, but instead it will be Lemar who will step up for the penalty, shoots and scores. It is 1-0 to the French, 12 minutes gone. Not quite a fast start, but it will do for the French as they look for that back-to-back World Cup triumph. I don't think we've ever had that in history, where we've had three-time winners back-to-back. This could indeed be history in the making if the French can pull this off. Griezmann has the free kick, and not far out from the goal, and it's a good save in the end by Bessa. Lemar plays the ball forward into Mbappe, and that should be it, and it is in, but I think it's been ruled out for offside. Very surprising. I thought Mbappe was level there. Really shocked. But indeed, it looks like it has been ruled out for offside. Lemar playing the ball forward, and yeah, Mbappe's off. The defender just getting forward in time to catch Mbappe in an offside position by what seems a country mile. Not long before half-time now. Pavard plays it in, and there is Guri off the underside of the bar. It just bounces down in front of the goal. France very much on top in this first half. Half-time 1-0 to the French, and it could have been so much more for France. Pavard plays the ball into the box. It's just cleared. And now Portugal through. No, not quite through, but Sambu taking the ball forward. He is into the penalty area. If he can get the shot off, and it's just wide. Okay, that is the best chance so far that Portugal have had. And now Portugal, they look to be piling on the pressure just a little bit. And I think that's a penalty. Oh, well. Todibo looks to be the guilty man there. I think he has given away the penalty. And Portugal have been awarded a penalty. If this is Bruno Fernandes. No, it's João Felix stepping up. And he scores and equalises for the Portuguese. Portugal have looked a lot brighter in this second half. France won, Portugal won. And it's all to play for now. The French are not home and dry by any stretch of the imagination. They may be made to rue those missed chances. What a second half. This has been much better second half, to be fair. Competitively for both teams compared to the first. It was just utter French domination in that first half. Tackled. It just looks like Portugal holding on in these tackles. Mendy. It's a long highlight. This could be a goal coming, and that is a foul. Ricardo looks to be getting a booking here. No, he's been sent off. It's a straight red for the Portuguese right back. Oh, this is big. And Portugal now have gone to a 4-2-3 or 4-2-2-1, if you will, trying to be defensively sound against the French. Lafont goal kick into Coman, but it has been cleared away by the Portuguese. Sambu is through here, and Sambu has just given 10-man Portugal the lead. Incredible. I wondered if they were going to hold on till penalties, but instead they've gone up the other end and have scored. Much more direct from the Portuguese, and Sambou has just caught the two centre-backs for France napping up near the halfway line. He has looked very, very lively in this second half, and to be honest with you, just because of Sambou's runs, he certainly deserved that goal. And ladies and gentlemen, well, what a shock. France 1, Portugal 2. In the third round of the World Cup, the back-to-back world champions are out. So just to wrap up the third round of the World Cup, the USA beat Spain in a shocker on penalties. 1-1 after extra time. Scotland beat Japan. They're into the quarterfinals of the World Cup. The furthest they've ever been. Well, this is already the furthest they've ever been in a World Cup. But into the quarterfinals. Well done to the Scots. France, as we saw in the highlights, are out 2-1 after extra time to Portugal. Norway didn't beat... indeed beat Ireland 1-0. Martin Odegaard with the sole goal. England beat Greece on penalties after 0-0 draw after 120 minutes. Denmark beat Poland 1-0. And in the final couple of games, Italy beat Germany 1-0. Holland beat Uruguay 2-1. And I'm just thinking, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... There's effectively 7 nations from Europe in the quarterfinals. The USA are the only non-European representatives left. The quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup are upon us, and these are the 4 games that will be taking place in this round. Scotland versus Norway, the USA versus Portugal, which we will be watching the highlights for as part of this round. And in the final 2 games, England versus Holland, Denmark versus Italy. Both nations will have their eyes set on a place in the last 4 of the FIFA World Cup. For the USA, it will be a step that they've never taken before, from my limited knowledge of the World Cup in and of itself. For the Portuguese, they haven't been here, I believe, in at least 10 years. So this is going to be a very good opportunity for them to grace the last 4 of a FIFA World Cup, and the potential chance of glory now that the back-to-back world champions are out. We are guaranteed new world champions going in to the rest of this tournament. Could we be looking at one of the winners right here? USA versus Portugal, and these are the starting 11s for both nations. For the USA, Horvath in goal, Robinson, Brooks, Palmer, Brown and Dest at the back 4. Musa and Adams in the midfield, with Pulisic, Reina and De La Fuente in attacking midfield areas, with Way up front. For Portugal, they go with a 4-2-3-1 as previously against France. Bessa in goal, Pedreira, Diaz, Queiroz, Dalot in defence, Neves and Louis in midfield, with Guedes on the left-hand side of the attack. The attacking midfield this time. Fernandes in attacking midfield, Bernardo Silva on the right wing. Sambou gets a starting line spot after his performance in the last game and his winner against France. Bernardo. Portugal trying to play the ball forward here, trying to get an attack going, but Bernardo with the ball deep. There's Guedes. Guedes trying to take the ball forward into the penalty area. Can't quite find a way through. There is Pedreira. Guedes again, and it's been blocked, but there is Sambou to ricochet the ball home. I don't know if you know too much about it, but regardless, second goal in 2 games for Sambou. He is looking like a top striker for Portugal right now, cleaning up where the other attacking players can't quite finish off. Guedes with his shot originally, it was blocked, and Sambou, literally, I'm not sure he knew too much about that. But regardless, a good striker is always in position to take advantage, and it is indeed the USA 0, Portugal 1. Romario has the ball on the right hand side. Can the USA win this ball back and make a counter? Because right now they're not offering very much against the Portuguese. And oh, what a shot by Ruben Neves! Oh gosh, that was a good save by Horvath in the end. But Neves with the corner. It has been cleared, but only as far as Romario. The USA can't get out of their own penalty box at this point. Failed tackle there, and it has been cleared again. Again, only as far as Florentino. USA 0, Portugal 1. And the World Cup run for the Americans has come to a shuddering halt, unfortunately. They go out with a whimper. As you can see there, bit of a spoiler already. Scotland 0, Norway 3 is the final result. Norway into the final four of the World Cup for the first time as well. Portugal joined them with that 1-0 win against the USA. And in the other two quarterfinals, England are sadly out with a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Holland. Italy are also through after a 1-0 win against Denmark after extra time. Italy are not exactly massively impressive going forwards, but they are defensively solid by the looks of it, as they book themselves a semi-final World Cup place. We are down to the final four of the World Cup now, so no messing about. We've already had the first match. Holland booking their place in the World Cup final for the first time in 16 years since that disappointment against Spain in 2010. They beat Portugal 3-1, Gravenberch and Depay on the score sheet, and that leaves us with one more semi-final, the game we're going to attend. Norway versus Italy. We see Haaland in a World Cup semi-final. Who would have thought? This is the furthest Norway have ever got in a World Cup tournament. I can't even remember if they were in the 2022 version of the World Cup, but regardless, a semi-final appearance for the first time in their, if this is their first World Cup, it's the deepest run in the World Cup they're likely to have. Italy, of course, are no strangers to the latter stages of a World Cup, and to say the least, they're going to have their eyes on another final as they look to win a joint record fifth World Cup in their history. A highlight straight from the off as Florino takes the ball here forward for Italy. He finds Esposito. Oh, he gets a shot off, and so does Immobile, but it is saved and blocked by Norway. 25 seconds into the game. Exciting start so far as Barella swings the corner in, and it has been cleared. We'll go through the starting 11 when they come up on the screen. Norway trying to get the ball forward here. Evgen, can he find Haaland or Odegaard in the middle? No, he can't. So let's be honest, Haaland and Odegaard, the two biggest players for Norway as it is. Odegaard with the corner, and it is cleared as far as Haig. And Italy, as what they've been doing for the entire tournament by the looks of it, defending resolutely. I don't think they've conceded many goals at all. But these are the starting 11s. First up, Norway. Klaassen in goal with Svensson, Ayer, Ostergaard and Bugaj in defence. Haig, Thorsby, Odegaard and Evgen in midfield with Nielsen and, of course, Erling Haaland up front. 4-4-2 formation for Norway, as is seemingly a tradition for Scandinavian teams. For Italy, it's a 4-3-1-2 formation, very defensively sound by the looks of things. Donnarumma in goal, the indomitable 6'5" Donnarumma, Salah, Bastoni, Lovato and Fiorino in defence with Barella, Tonali, Castrovilli in midfield, Immobile playing behind the two strikers of Moise Kean and Esposito. Chance here possibly for Norway off the throw in. Thorsby, if he can find someone in the box, it is a shot, but it's been blocked, I think, by one of his own players. Svensson back into Thorsby, he has another crack, and there is Odegaard. It's just wide for Norway just after the half-hour mark. Very, very close for the Norwegians there. Coming up to half-time, it is 0-0 Norway versus Italy. Italy defending resolutely as they have been doing so far in this tournament. Norway trying to ask questions, but they've not really found Haaland. He's been quite invisible in this game so far. It's been more Odegaard who has been involved in things heavily. Svensson on the ball. Haig. Suspicions of offside there, but it's been allowed to continue, and Gian Jaspero is through here, and he just puts it wide. I thought he should have squared that. There was two other players in the middle there for Italy. And Haaland has won the ball here, and he is away. He's got the pace, but Italy defenders staying with him. Might be tiredness as far as Haaland goes, if he can find someone in the box, but it has been cleared again. The story of the match. Norway are getting bodies forward, but the Italians just very, very solid. Evgen. Who can he find in the middle? Is Haaland there? And there is, Haig at the back post. The ball bobbles around in the box. It heads for the back post, and Haig slots the ball home. It's the easiest chance Norway are going to have in this game, and the Italians have finally been undone. It has been coming. It has been coming. I think, close to 20 shots for Norway in this match, and Berg was the one who got the touch on that into Haig. He'll be credited with the assist for that, I believe. Italy being a bit patient here. They've got a few minutes plus stoppage time. And that is into Jaspero, and he has his goal. Okay, it's been coming. He's had about 8 chances in this match. And that is absolute heartbreak for the Norwegians. They have been playing so well in this game. Oh, what, 20 shots probably in this game? But it counts for naught when the Italians defend so well, and the Italians finally have their goal. They have had a number of chances. They just got very wasteful. Heartbreak for the Norwegians, unless they can find a winner. They have the ball here into Verbema. There is Haig, and Haig surely... Haig might have just sent the Norwegians to the World Cup final. We could be on the verge of history here, folks. Not only are Norway this deep into a tournament for the first time in their history, they could reach a World Cup final. Ah, now Jan Jaspera is through, and he's wasteful again. And it is 6 minutes of injury time, and... Norway have done it. Norway 2, Italy 1 in normal time, and it sets up the World Cup final. Holland versus Norway. And we will be there live. Before we begin the final, just a quick review of the third place playoff, like the least important game at the World Cup. Portugal 2, Italy 0, Portugal securing third place. But we are here for the big one. Holland versus Norway, of all countries, in the World Cup final 2026. I tried to find out what stadium this is actually being held in, but not getting any info on it, unfortunately. I can only assume the final itself is being held in America. The third place playoff was held at the Rose Bowl, so I think that's in California. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But regardless, we are here for the 2026 World Cup final. Holland, who must fancy their chances of finally ending their World Cup winless drought, against the surprise package of the tournament, it has to be said, even if they do have Erling Haaland, Norway. We get a highlight straight from the off here, as within the opening 40 seconds, Sorloth is forward here with the ball. Ball is played into Haaland, if he just gets the shot off, and he does! Haaland with his 7th goal of the World Cup, and it puts Norway ahead. Less than 1 minute on the clock. What more do you want me to say? I can't actually predict what is going to happen now in this final, because Norway have just torn up the scripts. I thought it might be a case of back to back to back for France. Hasn't happened. And who would have thought it would have been Norway who would be in the final? We can finally go through the team sheets though. Holland's starting 11, a 4-2-3-1 formation here. Bijelo in goal. Vindal, De Ligt, Van Dijk and Dumfries at the back, with Koopminers and De Jong in midfield, Depay on the left wing, Van der Beek in attacking midfield, Kluivert on the right wing, and Xerxes up front. For Norway, Klaassen in goal, Kitolano, Aja, Ostergaard and Bugaj in defence, Haig, Berge, Micho and Verbema in midfield, and Sorloth and Haaland, the man who's just scored the opening goal, up front. Sorloth, I think, with the assist. What a start to this World Cup final. That's better than most World Cup finals, how they start in the first place. Another chance here possibly for Norway. Haig with the ball. If he gets the shot off. No. Oh my goodness. Holland 0, Norway 2. 8 minutes into the World Cup final. I'm not sure like I said, I'm not sure what I can actually say to this. Holland has started poorly, and another mistake, and it just goes wide. Norway could have been 3-0 up inside 10 minutes. Kitolano with the corner. It's out again. Back to Kitolano. He goes alone. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All I can say is the crowd are going absolutely nuts here. The Norwegian crowd, that is, are going nuts. The Holland fans are probably on their way home already. It's only been 33 minutes. They're probably on their way back to Holland. They came to America expecting a good time and a potential win in this final. I said potential win, expected win in this final, but they're currently 3-0 down after half an hour. And there is Kluivert, I'm not sure, the keeper saved that or hit the post. But that's their best opportunity. It has been cleared again by the Norwegians, and Haaland just got taken down there by De Ligt as Holland have a little bit of a breather. Berge. Won by De Jong, but it's been won back again. Intercepted by Norway. Micho. Fiabema. Into the box, and there is Soloff. Haaland, it's been deflected in. Oh my goodness. What is going on? What are we witnessing? This is only 2026. It's not as if this is 2042 or something. Holland 0, Norway 4 at half time. I am stunned. Fans over here, I think they're stunned as well. Those who have stayed around, but the Norway fans, oh, they're having a good time. They're just vibing over there. Yeah, Holland have just not been anywhere close to performing near their best in this game. De Ligt, oh, terrible miss by De Ligt there. He should be heading that. Haaland is through. It's got to be 5. No, it's a save, but De Ligt. Micho takes the ball forward again for Norway. Keeps hold of the ball. That was a lot of strength there, and it is a penalty to Norway. It just gets worse and worse for Holland. It just gets absolutely worse and worse. This has gone to VAR. The referee is checking, and it has been awarded. Who's stepping up? Is it Haaland? Yes, it is. We just about saw their penalty, but Haaland has scored his second of the game, and I believe that puts him ahead in the race for the Golden Boot. We'll check that out after the game anyway. But that puts him ahead for the Golden Boot. 8 goals in this tournament. Unbelievable. Holland 0, Norway 5. There's no getting away from how horrid of a performance this has been for Holland. In fact, let's just give a moment of sadness for the Dutch performance here, because this has been terrible. But on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, utterly deserved for the Norwegians. And it is indeed a first ever World Cup triumph. Your 2026 World Cup winners. Congratulations, Norway. What an impressive achievement. Holland 0, Norway 5. They deserve this again. What an absolute achievement for the Norwegians. They certainly deserved it based on those 2 performances that we saw. So just to confirm what I mentioned during that match, Erling Haaland is indeed the Golden Boot winner for the World Cup. 9 goals for Haaland in this tournament. Very, very impressive from the Norwegian striker. Easily one of the best in the world. Elite striker, and it says it all. He has proved it on the main stage here at the World Cup and has led Norway to unexpected glory. This will be updated, we won't see it anyway, but it has been confirmed. Your 2026 World Cup champions, Norway. My mind's just blown saying that. Folks, if you have enjoyed this video and the unexpected triumph of Norway in the 2026 World Cup, imagine if that happens in real life, make sure to leave a like down below and smash the big red subscribe button for future videos, including the FM22 beta, which should be dropping about 3 weeks after the release of this video. But I hope to see you then, and I look forward to seeing you especially in the next video.